Kafie 1901 Cigars is a boutique cigar company created by Dr. Gaby Kafie, a retired physician with a rich family heritage in Central America since the turn of the 20th century. Dr. Kafie's passion for exotic and high-quality tobacco led him to partner with La Aurora Cigars Factory, the first and most renowned cigar factory in the Dominican Republic. There, he works alongside a team with decades of experience where he selects only the highest quality leaves to create the finest blends that will carry the Kafie family name. At Kafie 1901 Cigars, passion meets purpose, resulting in a symphony of flavors and craftsmanship that define excellence. Elevate your cigar experience with Kafie 1901 Cigars, where every moment is an indulgence in the art of perfection. Visit us today at kafiecigars.com.
Hey guys, Dr. Gaby Kafie coming to you from Miami, Florida, this beautiful Saturday afternoon, making a video for everyone at House of Havana in Odessa, Texas. You know, every time we make new friends in the industry, and it just happens to be in a way where I'm not physically there. A really good way to connect with you all is to make this sort of a video and basically educate everyone as to what it is that we do and why you should try our products. So you all know my title as a doctor. I spent the past, I spent the first 40 years of my life doing what I loved, and it was becoming a doctor. I am licensed in the state of Florida. I'm a foot and ankle specialist, a knee specialist. I specialized in podiatric orthopedics, surgery, and wound care. To sum it all up, I was basically a sports medicine doctor with huge dreams to make people feel better and people get better and heal. Apart from being a doctor, there's two other things that I loved in my life, and it's kind of amazing how you always have to stay true to yourself. One of those things, apart from medicine, was fishing, and I spent my entire life with my father, my brother, and close friends fishing inshore, in the bay, offshore, everything from fly fishing to freshwater, fishing in rivers, in lakes, and fishing in the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, Baja, Mexico, everywhere from Miami, Florida, down to the furthest Bahamian island you can imagine. Of course, Puerto Rico, Guatemala, Panama. Just, I've been truly blessed. So, y'all know, number one was medicine, number two was fishing. And ironically, I must share this with you all. This is, if you don't know, it's an Orvis, it's a fly fisherman's hat. And la cinta, the leather strap that you see, is where you kind of hook your fly when you're out there having a good time. So number three was premium cigars, and my life really has been a journey about doing what I am really good at. And becoming really good at something means you have to apply yourself. There's a certain level of discipline and dedication that it takes to become the best at something. I applied that discipline and dedication to my medical career. I applied that same discipline and dedication and love to the offshore fishing business I used to have. I could get into details on another video, but back in 2012, I decided to get into the premium cigar business. And as an educated man, higher learned, as we say, I was obsessed with learning about the tobacco trade from some of the most knowledgeable people in our industry. If this video is a little bit lengthy, forgive me, you guys, but there's no way to shorten it. So, in the 1990s, one of the brightest minds in the tobacco world when it came to premium cigars was Rolando Reyes Sr. Rolando Reyes Sr. was the owner of Puros Indios Cuba Aliados, Cienfuegos, and the Rolly cigar. He also made another brand called Genuine. Rolando Reyes Sr., ironically, he left Cuba. He left Las Villas, Cuba in 1971, specifically July the 6th, 1971. And the reason I remember that vividly is because I was born July 7th, 1971. And I don't think it's coincidence that his family and mine came together to develop the very first cigar blend that we put out to market. I'm going to try to keep this really brief because I can tell stories, guys. So what ended up happening was my family has a history going back 120 years in Honduras and Central America. So when I wanted to get into the premium cigar business, I wanted to work with the greatest tobacco master that existed in Honduras, because that's where we were based. So Rolando Reyes Sr. it was, and his heirs. I learned so much there. I learned about tobacco, specifically curing and fermentation, the different ways to ferment tobacco, when you fluctuate temperature, humidity, of course, heat, and also the art of fermenting tobacco in the absence of oxygen, anaerobic fermentation. I won't get into details, but I was privileged to have learned the trade from the greatest tobacco technician to ever live. And that's a quote from Cigar Aficionado magazine back in 1992 regarding Rolando Reyes Sr. So after his passing, and after I felt that I had graduated, I moved on to the next level, which was opening up my own cigar factory. The factory was called Tabacalera Kafie, after my last name, our family's last name, right? So, Tabacalera Kafie opened up in 2016, which ironically was the same time that the FDA deeming regulations were implemented on the premium cigar industry, specifically August 8th of 2016. Imagine that. The FDA says we're going to regulate premium cigars, and instead of running, I decided to open up my own premium cigar factory. It's all about taking risk. It's about taking risk and believing in yourself and believing in your family, your ideas, and what it is that you want to create. So, fast forward, I spent about 5 years working at Tabacalera Kafie, making cigars for our company, Kafie 1901, as well as 16 other companies throughout the U.S. and abroad. And towards 2019 and 2020, before the pandemic hit, Honduras was slammed back to back by two Category 4 hurricanes, which significantly depleted the tobacco reserves in the country. So what ended up happening is two hurricanes hit Honduras, then a pandemic. And sourcing tobacco became very difficult. So 2020, 2021, I find myself in a crisis. We had reached a point in our premium cigar career where we had produced 4 blends: the Kafie 1901 Maduro, which is ironically the one I'm smoking right now, the first one, the Connecticut blend, a Sumatra blend, and a San Andres. The San Andres that came out of Honduras was box pressed. The beautiful thing is that every cigar that we had ever created had been nominated by Cigar Journal magazine. Best Cigar Honduras, Best Brand Honduras, Best Value Cigar. Truly amazing honors to receive nominations like that for a new up-and-coming company like ours. But in 2021, I decided that I no longer wanted to be limited with the tobaccos that we had available to us to create blends. And it was at that time, in November of 2021, that I decided to shut down our cigar manufacturing in Honduras. And I was honored after about 6 months of meetings and speaking with master blenders. I was truly honored that I ended up at this legendary factory, La Aurora Cigars Factory. So, one of the things about La Aurora is that I really respect, admire, and appreciate history, because nothing will replace experience. Nothing, nothing, nothing in this world, especially when it comes to an artisanal craft like a premium cigar, absolutely nothing replaces the years of experience that I've been honored and humbled to learn from. With Rolando Reyes Sr., historically, he began rolling cigars at the age of 14. He died at the age of 89. And I came across so much education and knowledge from what he built. I literally spent 3 years just absorbing everything I could from the Reyes family. And then I went off on my own and, like they say, chipped my teeth, right? I learned so much. there isn't enough time to really talk about everything I learned, but I will tell you this, and the reason I pause is because everything that I learned was painful, because it usually came after a mistake. So even though I've only been in the industry for 10 years, I'm laughing because it's been a brutal 10 years. Um, at La Aurora, 120 years of experience. Manuel Inoa, one of the greatest master blenders of our time. He is a living legend. And for me to have the privilege to create blends that are truly like no other in this entire industry. I'm smoking a cigar here that has a beautiful, delicious, dark Habano wrapper with a double African Cameroon binder and fillers of tobaccos, one of them being Andullo, Dominican Andullo. There are tobaccos in this blend that very few people have or use. This is not a mass market product. This is truly 100% boutique. For me, boutique is everything. Boutique is what separates us from everyone. Boutique is when an owner literally is involved in every step of the process. From designing cigar bands to designing boxes. If I may, this beautiful box tells a story of my grandparents. This is Don Chukri.
It's 7 o'clock.
And Regina Kafie. Now the ship that you see there is a ship that my grandfather took in 1901 from New York to Puerto Cortes, Honduras. This is a real family story. Our family has 123 years invested in Honduras. Beautiful artwork. This is the, right here, the country emblem for the Dominican Republic, the United States, and in the middle, right there, is the one for Honduras. And every box comes stamped with the factory identifier. Of course, barcodes and everything are standard. And one of the things that we do with our boxes, because we do ship this product all over the world, is there's a special onion paper that we use that when it comes in contact with body heat, it actually begins to curl. And it's a special wax paper. It actually only has wax on one side, but these are little identifiers that we use as authenticity for our products. You know, when this ships to Hong Kong or New Zealand or Dubai, consumers are very eccentric. They will spend as much time looking at a blend or a cigar band as the box, because the box truly does tell a story. You know, is this fiction or is this nonfiction? Is it made up or is it a real family story? And for us, being that it's a real family story with our family name on the box, There is no stone I have left unturned to make sure we deliver the finest product. Now, let me go back and just mention a couple of things about tobacco. The key to great cigars is doing things all natural and taking your time. And that is probably one of the most challenging things about making quality premium cigars. If you look at this cigar here, like every cigar we produce, all the tobaccos are aged a minimum of 4 to 5 years. And the fermentation cycle is such that there is a heavy focus on making sure we remove as much ammonia and impurities from the tobacco so that what you're left with on the palate is a very pleasant experience of flavors, aroma, the bouquet of the blend. And a cigar, a very good high quality cigar, like the ones we make, should really, really stimulate from the middle of your palate to the front of your palate and your tongue. Stimulate by activating the taste buds. You want to salivate a little bit when you're experiencing great flavors. You don't want to salivate too much. Too much salivation is a chemical reaction. It's not the taste buds. Now, quality fermentation can only be achieved through long periods of time. You can't rush the tobacco. Heck, we could age cigars in 2 years and start pumping out, age tobacco in 2 years, start pumping out cigars, sell them for $6 to $8. But that's not where, I have no love for that. I apologize. My love for this industry comes in the truest essence of figuring out how to extract the greatest flavors out of the tobacco leaf. And I have found that it takes time. Minimum 4 years, 5 years. At that point is when we begin to work on a blend. Flavors, strength through the retro. That melody, it just hits the pleasure center. Oh, it's so delicious, guys. I know some of you know what I'm talking about. So when I look at a premium cigar, I look at, does it give you pleasure? Is it, as we say in Spanish, agradable? Agradable is, there is no direct relation or translation into English. Agradable means a combination of pleasant and pleasure. So when I produce a premium cigar blend, my goal is to make sure it is pleasant, enjoyable, and it gives you pleasure. That's the sweet spot, that combination. And the way to do that is by focusing on flavors that the palate enjoys. Sometimes the pleasure comes through the retrohale. When you feel that strength, the olfactory nervous system gets stimulated. There's 8 million nerve endings in the olfactory system. So it's not just about taste, it's about smell. And we know We all know that it is smell that activates the taste buds. So, for the past decade, I've been on a quest to really work with the greatest people. I've been on a quest to work with the greatest tobacco, the greatest master blender, the greatest factory, and embedding our family's core principles. And the past 50 years of obsession that I have with creating wonderful experiences for others. This obsession that I have, which has led me to create and be the founder of the Boutique Cigar Association back in 2016, this obsession is what led me to bring Kafie 1901 coffee to the United States. It's this obsession that allows me the tunnel vision to just ignore everything except quality. If it's not quality, I want nothing to do with it. And that's who I am, guys. I know this is a very lengthy video, probably something you weren't expecting. Maybe you wanted a little 30-second, spiel. I don't do spiels. This is my life, my family's life, my beautiful wife, Vivian. I've got 2 children that are 15 and 12. And since 2012, 13, I've dedicated every second of my life, besides my family, I've dedicated every second of my life towards producing the greatest premium cigars. Period. Some of you may agree, some of you may not. That's the beauty of premium cigars, is you're never right or wrong. And the other thing is that there's so much competition out there, and they really are all doing a wonderful job. That's why we live, I believe, in the new era, the new renaissance of premium cigars, where information is shared, knowledge is shared, tobacco crops sometimes even are shared. Because at the end of the day, I firmly believe this, we are all employed by the connoisseur. We all work for you. So the entire premium cigar industry, myself, and everyone at the Boutique Cigar Association, and this blend, everything we do is created, developed, improved, perfected at times, to make sure the connoisseur of a fine premium cigar has the best experience. So, to everyone at House of Havana, to Louis and his entire staff, thank you for trusting in our products. I look forward to coming out and spending time with you guys. I appreciate this opportunity tremendously. And God bless you all and have a great week. Take care.